Hello and welcome to VOP this morning. I'm Moses Humphrey. Now, the chairman of the Presidential Tax Reform Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, says ministries, departments and agencies of federal government should not be involved in revenue collection activities. Now we have that story. Plus, presidential spokesman Ajuri Ngalali says military intervention in Niger not off the table yet, as ECOWAS leaders meet today to decide their next line of action. Now, these big topics are on our radar this morning. But of course, in the meantime, we'll be going into the cover pages to see what stories made it to the cover pages. And I have with me in the studio, Cyril Abaku. Now, we'd like for you to subscribe to our page on YouTube. Follow us. Let us know what you think about the headlines we are sharing. Let us know what you think about the stories that we're sharing right here today. All right, let us know what is going on in your neighborhood, because we are here to be your voice. We are your voice. We are voice of the people. All right, so Cyril, let's good morning to you, Cyril.
Good morning.
Now let's get into the cover pages. Now we have the Guardian newspaper, and I'll be starting off straight away with the Guardian. The Guardian has this headline: long road to peace as ECOWAS coup leaders maintain positions. On top of that one, dollar breaks 900 naira to a dollar ceiling, heads to 950 naira to a dollar at alternative market. Customs enforce presidential directive on Nigeria-Niger border closure. NNPP chairman Taku Kwankwaso say party, not another Kwankwasia group. Reps orders AGF to produce IPPIS officer, queries AMCON budget office. All right, and then when you go further down, we have why extension of UTM results validity impracticable by Oloyede. Time to end bloodletting in the southeast. Oyedele seeks comprehensive review of tax laws. All right, so let's quickly take your view on some of these headlines that we've shared.
The banner headline, I think, was the one you took that said a long road to peace in Niger. Perhaps even a longer road. Power isn't given. Power is taken. You know, no, there's nobody who will hold power and willingly relinquish it. I've not seen it happen anywhere. In fact, people stay in power and die instead of letting it off. So the people in Niger took their time, did the planning, did the organization. Somebody brought out the money for them to sponsor the coup, you know. A whole lot went into it. And now ECOWAS wants them to just give it up overnight. They gave a deadline which expired on Sunday or Monday, and they didn't. I wonder, is it that they gave the deadline and they went to sleep, to relax and say, let's wait and see. I thought when you give a deadline, you begin to plan ahead and say, if you begin to think out scenarios and say that if the deadline was not acceded to or honored, then a day later or 2 days later you strike or you do something. But that a deadline ended, you now take almost a week to discuss what you now want to do. Appears to me like ECOWAS itself has become a puppet.
Do you think ECOWAS has become a puppet, or ECOWAS is trying to avoid getting into confrontation?
Why then did you issue? Why then did you say the thing you said at the beginning?
That probably was done in a haste.
Let me be very upfront with you, Mr. Humphrey. The reality is this: everything happening now isn't just happening because it's happening now. Everything manifesting in the material sense of it had been imagined and thought out perhaps a year before now. Military coup peace. Now, Burkina Faso is back in Niger. Mali is back in Niger. Guessably so. These men had sat down and calculated the cost of what it was going to. So it's not as if what's happening now is maybe ECOWAS is responding. I don't know. ECOWAS is reacting, But the men in Niger, in fact, they know how long these sanctions are going to last. Mali has not collapsed. The other day, the US government imposed sanctions on the defense minister of Mali. The man doesn't need to travel to America to breathe. All right? So you need to do a lot. But the fact is this. We must create a problem in Niger to forestall this thing from going. That is my own contention. All else is all else. This whole discussion around ECOWAS now trying to sit down to discuss what they're going to do. Come on. The Nigerians already factored in the fact that somebody somewhere will be weighing down on ECOWAS to debilitate ECOWAS, to weaken ECOWAS. Now you see that in the international media there is a well orchestrated propaganda against President Tinubu to say even he lacks legitimacy as a leader. Do you know what that means? If they say a government does not have legitimacy, do you know what that means? That's in a manner of speaking, that's treason. That's treason. If they say this king is not the legitimate king to sit on the throne, what are they now trying to say? They are saying even he should. So we can't. Like I said, what happened in Niger is a threat to now. ECOWAS is certainly not coordinated. They are confused. The Nigerian president does not have local support, domestic support, to back up his saber rattling and bellicose policy statement that he made some weeks ago. The North is against him. Even when the Sultan and Abdullah Mubaka went to Niger, they dismissed them to go back. A government that had the effrontery to tell the American representative that she couldn't see President Bazoum. So these men have this thing cut out. I mean, now they say long road to peace. Peace in quote. Because is it long road to democracy or restoration of democracy or long road to peace?
It's long road to peace as it stands at the moment.
Well, I don't know, because the people on the streets are celebrating, waving Russian flags, backing the.
Well, it's a topic that we'll delve into much later. Yes. Unfortunately, I don't know if you will be here for that. I would love to get your views again when we delve into it. Yeah. But let's look at some other stories now. Let's go to another paper now. Let's look at the Naira. Naira is deeping.
No.
Let's take this headline. Let's take this headline from the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust says Naira inches towards 1,000 Naira to $1 at parallel market. Sells for 925 Naira in Kano, 917 Naira in Abuja, 890 Naira in Lagos. Falls 19.8% since FX unification. Official window no longer reflective of the market dynamics. We need to work on supply side of FX CBN.
So don't tell us you need to work on supply side. Then work on the supply side. Don't tell us you need to work on the supply side. But this morning I want to take that matter from a little bit of a different point of view.
Okay.
The Naira isn't just about economics and finances. The Naira is one of the inspirators of patriotism, one of the inspirators of our values as a nation, our cultural values as a country. Let me ask you, Moses, today, would you rather have $100 bill or 100 Naira?
Really? Really?
So if even as a citizen of your country, you prefer to hold the currency of another nation, automatically it is a soft cultural way of persuading you to prefer that currency and by extension that country over yours. That's the problem. So I mean, people are saying, I'm waiting for when the Naira will come to $1. The Naira will come to 1,000 Naira to $1. That's when I'm going to change it. I have some dollars and I will not touch them. I hear that all the time. So now we are all yearning to have the dollar over the Naira. Should it really be so? Do the Americans prefer to have the Naira over the dollar? How many people in the world prefer to have another currency over theirs? But it's not right. So maybe the government doesn't understand. If you unify, then act on the unification. You don't unify and sit back and say, we've unified. So the banks alone should go and take the humongous risk now of looking for dollar from where? How did they even source for the dollars during the elections? When the cash crunch policy came, a lot of people, they said they were packing the nairas into the to buy dollars and so on. The dollar became the savior of people who. Now you've unified the exchange rate and said banks should go to what's it called, airports and all these places and set up their bureau de change and feel free to, when they don't have dollars to do business with. What is the plan of government to mop up the dollars that are in the hands of these people on the roadside, who only some years ago we learned that even some of them are even sponsoring Boko Haram, using their business as a conduit to fund terrorism against the Nigerian state? No prosecution, nothing. A foreign government did their due diligence, arrested and prosecuted people in their own country, and sent us 400 names of people who they say were sponsoring terror. To this day, nobody has said anything about it. And you expect that Nigerians will not pack their bags and be running away to other countries. So my take on this matter, yes, economically we're not doing well, financially things are not where they should be, but government must wake up and realize that this dollar naira problem, you are making people to believe less and less in their country. Now, yesterday the president yesterday or 2 days ago, the president inaugurated tax reform committee. Do you see that in the areas of interest, in the areas that are of interest to the president, he is not doing badly? There is a Zacchaeus Adedeji, who is the advisor on revenue generation to the president. Is the first ever in this country that a president will appoint an advisor on revenue generation. That the president will appoint an advisor on revenue generation. I never had, and then there is economic advisor to the president. Yeah, then there's a separate person whose work is to tell the president how to go about taxation. It's fine. It's not. I'm not unhappy with it, but I'm just trying to bring out the issues. Now there is also somebody who is advising. Then there's a whole committee on tax reform. Please, what is taxation? Taxation is not a welfare tool. Taxation is about taking
from the people.
Okay. There's a whole committee, including a.
Well, didn't we expect this to
whether we expected it or not, at least it's happening. So let us just face the issues, okay?
Okay.
There's a committee on revenue generation. That before now they had floated the idea of streamlining revenue collection to only NIMASA and FIRS and maybe customs also.
Oh.
Now the new chairman has even gone to say that only the FIRS should be collecting all the taxes, which clearly tells you that the president knows who shares philosophy. All right, this man Taiwo Edele, of course, a well-known, respected tax expert from PwC. So it is the same language. Why are we not able to bring that same urgency, that same sperm, whatever, to others? The dollar can be crashing. Even the tax you're collecting, how much is it going to become? You were here when I said that after the president's speech on the eve of the labor strike, that I think they had given 70 billion naira or so to manufacturers.
For 1st of August, thereabout?
Yeah, I think either 31st or 1st of August. He said that they had given 70 billion naira or so to manufacturers. And I said with inflation, with importation, with everything, how much? Now, yesterday, manufacturers said that they lost 750 billion naira last year alone. And the government's intervention is 70 billion. Plus this Herculean interest rate. It means you're not, and that's why everything man has said has come to pass. They said multinational companies are going to pack out of Nigeria. GSK has gone, and yet government's priority is to take more taxes. I find that really funny.
Troubling.
Yes.
All right. Let's some other headlines from the Daily Trust. I would like to get your response. Okay. I'll take them and then get your response on this one before we wrap up this segment of the show. Akpabio under fire over comment on Senator's holiday enjoyment allowance. I hope you got that one. Okay, but we'll come to it. FIRS set to take over 63 agencies, tax collection mandates, presidential committee. 2 arrested for raping, infecting girl with hepatitis in Jigawa. And when you go further down the paper, we have Sanusi meets Niger military leaders, briefs Tinubu. Sultan-led NSCIA opposes force economic sanctions. Ulamas get Tinubu's nod for mediation. And learn from Libya crisis. Bishops tell ECOWAS, I now eat dry rice. Ousted president laments hardship. All right, so Akpabio under fire over comments on senators' holiday enjoyment allowance.
No, he later said it was prayers to their mailboxes.
Yeah.
This is
After
why,
hitting the gavel.
This is why we say that these people are not there.
And Nigerians are being asked to endure.
They are not.
Let's endure the suffering.
Just to go on holiday.
The clerk can send something to their account.
To their account, they should just go and enjoy for the holidays. That's how we know that we are not getting the holiday.
That was a slip, right?
Yes.
That was a terrible slip.
Yes. The president will be appointing nearly 50 ministers. We will all have technical assistants and PAs and chief spokesmen and everything. Then the senators are taking their money. Yesterday, someone was even trying to put out how much the amount was. You won't believe it. You know
how much?
Well, I can't say because it's not a fact, so I can't say.
A postulated amount.
No, but because it's in the millions, it's not
for holiday allowance.
Oh, sure, of course, double-digit millions for that matter. You know, yes, each of them actually, not as a collective. No, of course, you want you know, for each person. Where did the money come from? That money didn't come from Southern Principal from Brazil. It's Nigerian money.
After nomination, after screening, one would wonder, was that compensation for approving all the nominees?
Your guess is as good as mine, you know. Even the so-called El Rufai and what's his name, Danladi and the lady, they didn't. You know what they said was that there was a security report they're waiting for. I didn't understand what that was. I think something. It's not security anything. Because they are done clear. What was the security that others didn't get, that others got that they didn't get? DSS have all done their background checks on all the nominees. What was yesterday I had the saying, Senator approve El Rufai, he will do well. The fact is that in reality, whatever the case is whatever the case is. There is no security, anything anybody is waiting for anywhere. Something is fishy, something political. It's all politics anyway.
Of course.
It's all politics. So our plea will be put the people first. This whole, and
will they ever put the people first?
No, they won't. They think
money is
of course,
into
you know, even for me saying it sounded very strange in my ears, but I just have to say it because I needed to say it. In the next 4 years, some people are going to wake up billionaires. They are going to wake up, you know, you are made. Nigerian senator is made for life.
That's why they always
made.
Struggle to get
yes,
there.
You are made. No, struggle is kill, steal, and destroy. Just to
try
get
not
there.
to use that kind of
yeah,
word. But
kill, steal, and destroy. Just if only to get there. You know. So,
all right.
Akpabio turned it from Allah to prayer. We are
That's
watching.
a joke. That's an insult, actually.
It's a terrible insult, of course.
Insult.
It's a terrible insult. You know, he suddenly collected himself and what have I done? Of course, he's a witty speaker. He was looking for what to say, and then he said, "You send prayers to your mailboxes." He couldn't take it back, and Nigerians are suffering.
No, he said, "I take back the statement."
No, yeah, but
but words spoken cannot be taken back. Yes. Yeah. Oh well, thank you very much, Cyril, for staying with us on the program today.
Pleasure.
I totally appreciate your analysis. All right, up next on VOP this morning, the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform says the Nigeria Customs Service, NTS, and 62 other ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs of the federal government should not collect revenue directly. Well, let's find out why. We'll be back in a short while.